Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Okay, we're going to pull up a video from a few years ago of Tiff telling us that rates will be low for a long time. Okay?
You got tuberculosis. Really sorry for you, son. It's a hell of a thing.
COVID-19 pandemic has caused an unprecedented fall in economic activity in Canada, and the recovery will require considerable monetary policy support. Our overriding message to Canadians is that the bank will be there to provide monetary stimulus for an extended period to support the recovery and to return inflation to the 2% target.
What we're doing is we're looking for a smile on his face right now, because D. Trent said yesterday that if we look back at this video footage, we're going to notice that he was smiling when he was saying that rates will be low for an extended period.
Interest rates are very low, and they're going to be there for a long time.
I'd say he looks a little goofy while he's saying it.
You look ridiculous.
But I don't think he's smiling. Let's see again.
And they're going to be there for a long time. We recognize that Canadian businesses are facing an unusual amount of uncertainty. And so we have been unusually clear about the future path for interest rates. If you've got a mortgage, or if you're considering to make a major purchase, or you're a business and you're considering making an investment, you can be confident that interest rates will be low for a long time.
Is there a smile there? Anyone see a smile?
You're considering to make a major purchase, or you're a business and you're considering making an investment, you can be confident that interest rates will be low for a long time. Low interest rates make spending and investment more affordable, and spending and investment will support the recovery. That would be our message to Canadians.
Okay. I don't think he was smiling at all.
You failed!
But this is him telling us what we're supposed to do 4 years ago from the COVID response, which if you're up to date on things, friends, they're saying it's going to be a COVID style response, but nothing like what they did in COVID.
Makes perfect sense.
I don't know how that works. It seems like part of the problem is that the United States is not going to be printing money like crazy people. And they probably don't want to do that here when they're not doing it over there, because they want to save the loony, right? But they're not going to be able to say, I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
I just have no idea what the hell.
They think they pretend like they have one tool in their tool belt, interest rates. But we all know the country can just issue bonds, treasuries, and the Bank of Canada will just buy them. You know, there's that, right? I mean, why not again? Because yes, it will happen again. Whatever you think, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying, okay?
I'm just saying.
Now, fast forward to a couple of days ago, where Tiff is supposed to be pooping his pants, according to the legendary D. Trent, from the comment section of every single Canadian real estate podcast and show on the planet. Tiff pooping his pants, coming right up. Tiff McCallum is straight up telling you he can't cut rates to zero, especially if Trump imposes tariffs. A trade war puts upward pressure on inflation and downward pressure on growth at the same time, aka stagflation. Our buddy Luke from Marketmania says, until of course the government taps him on the shoulder and says, print, baby, print.
Print more of that money.
In the case of a trade war, there's no bounce back. If you introduce tariffs, the economy works less efficiently. We don't get those economies of scale. Businesses can't grow their businesses by growing their exports to the United States. So they're going to invest less. There's going to be less production. incomes will be lower in Canada. And unless we introduce a new structural shock, some structural reform that boosts our potential output, but boosts supply, there's no
Why
bounce
can't
back.
we do that? Why is that not just part of the equation? Why? Here, listen to what he said.
They're going to invest less. There's going to be less production. Incomes will be lower in Canada. And unless we introduce a new
structural shock,
some structural reform,
some kind of reform that boosts our production,
our potential output, but boost supply.
Why
there's
can't
no
we
bounce
just
back.
boost supply and production? What's stopping us? Why can't we trade across the country, for God's sakes, into other countries? I don't understand. What's holding us back? How come the States can all of a sudden just start trading more with Russia and Ukraine?
That's completely unfair. This is bullshit.
I don't get it. We trade with everybody anyways. Why can't we just do more with them, less with them? Like, we can right this ship pretty quickly.
So what that means, for monetary policy, we can't change that reality. The economy is going to a permanently lower.
Why is it
path.
permanently lower? I don't understand it. How are they coming up with this thesis? I don't understand why there's so many things we can do. I think there's so many other alternatives.
So the only thing we can do is we can help smooth the painful economic adjustment to tariffs. But even there, monetary policy is constrained because we have to make sure that the tariff problem doesn't become an inflation problem. So what that means is you're not looking like a COVID type response. We're going to have to proceed quite carefully. We're going to have to balance yes, there will be downward pressures on inflation from the weakness in the economy.
It sounds like doublespeak to me. It sounds like a whole bunch of horseshit and a whole bunch of baloney, okay? It's all just a bunch of baloney.
A bunch of bullshit.
They don't even know what they're going to do. Nobody has a clue what's going to go on. I think it's an unreliable bunch of horseshit.
But there's going to be also upward pressures from higher import costs, a weaker Canadian dollar, inevitable supply chain disruptions. That'll all increase cost, and that'll put upward pressure on inflation. So we're not. I mean, what I was really trying to convey in my remarks today is we're not thinking of a COVID type response.
Thinking of a COVID type response. I thought originally they were thinking of a COVID type response. I thought that was the whole bloody thing, was that they were thinking about a COVID type response. Not the same thing, totally different. And when all hell breaks loose, it's going to be, sorry, nothing we can do here. Can't buy up those treasuries and bonds. Really? Bullshit.